Good morning, students. In last few lectures, we have discussed about thermal power plants, in which we talked about the operation of the plant, different components, different cycles that is available there in these thermal power plants based on coal system, their advantages, disadvantages, and the current situation in India. Now we will talk about almost similar things regarding nuclear power plants. We have basic idea how nuclear power is generated. We know that there are heavy fissile nuclei that are uranium, plutonium, and thorium. There are many more, but in nuclear power generation, generally uranium is used, especially in India. And in India, we have sufficient deposit of uranium. So we will discuss about the plants based on uranium as a fuel. We know that the principle behind the power generation is the equivalency of mass. We have studied all these things in our schooling. And mass and equivalency between mass and energy. The relationship to convert the mass into energy is Einstein equation, E is equal to mc square. If there is some mass m, then it can be converted to energy. That is related to this formula. If we talk about uranium, then there are many isotopes of it, and we know isotopes. There, it is not required for the discussion. That includes uranium 238. This is atomic mass. Uranium 235 and uranium 234. There are three isotopes of uranium, and these all are radioactive. But among these three, only uranium 235 is fissionable. So being a fissionable material, it can be used for nuclear power. Okay, so from here we came to know that uranium 235 is being used as a fuel in nuclear power reactor. We know that the nucleus have of any element have proton and neutron in its structure like this, and the very huge energy is present in the bonds that holds these two together. And this nuclear energy can be released when these bonds are broken. If it is broken, means neutron come out from the nucleus, then huge energy is released. And these bonds can be broken through nuclear fission reactions. Okay, so from here we can say that the nuclear fission reactions are there that are responsible to generate the electrical power, and this energy is used to generate the electricity. And the reactions, or we can say the reaction that takes place is uranium 235 when neutron strike with this, then krypton, I think that is 92, and barium 56, and here it is 41. Barium is formed. Other than these two, neutron is formed. Okay, so to have equal mass, 236, 235 plus 1, 236, 92, 141, 233, 3 neutrons will be there to have mass equivalent. Okay. So from here we find that 1 neutron is used and 3 neutron is released. These 3 neutrons again collide with uranium 235 and again they form and they release the neutron, and in this process energy is generated that can be utilized as electrical energy generation purpose. Okay. So but there should be one thing ensured, that the next collision will take place only when the sufficient amount of uranium 235 is present there. Not only sufficient amount, but sufficient concentration also should be present there. In this way, that is known as the critical mass. So critical mass is very important to continue the chain reaction to release the energy. Now let us try to find how energy can be generated from here. Energy means electricity. So what we can do, if we have uranium 235 in the form of rods like this, okay, there are huge number. A number of rods are there. One is having the below critical mass, less than the mass of this is below critical mass, and combining all, the system is designed in such a way that their concentration and their mass becomes more than critical mass. What happens there, if a neutron collide with any rod, then the fissile reaction takes place. The reaction we have discussed earlier takes place, and the 3 neutrons generated, and that 3 neutrons can collide to another rod, and further chain reactions takes place. So this process don't have any control in our hand once first collision starts. So what should we do? We can have any control so that we can control the generation of the power according to our requirement. And such controlling substance can be something that can absorb this neutron, or that can provide hindrance in the path of this neutron. So what can be there? Steel is one of the best controllable material naturally. So if we place a steel rod in between the fuel rods, then the controlling of this up and down can control the neutron quantity. In this way, the neutrons can be controlled and the reaction itself can be controlled, and hence electrical power generation, or we can say the generation of power, can be controlled. But think, either it is sufficient to have only this setup, only these are not enough, and the neutrons generated here have very high speed, and that cannot be absorbed by uranium for further reaction. So what we can do, we can slow down these neutrons, and to slow down these neutrons, moderators are used. Okay, So moderators are used to slow down the neutrons while they are passing through moderator, they get slowed down. And when this neutron strikes with the uranium rod, then it can be the probability of reaction is very high. In this way, what we can find from here, that we required fuel rod. First thing, fuel rod, that is uranium 235, and it may be plutonium as well, but here we have uranium 235. Okay, write down plutonium as well. The second thing that we have in this power generation, the control rods that control the number of neutrons to collide with the another fuel rods. So the second one is the control rods. They are made up of steel material. Okay, think if anything happens in the system, then they are arranged in such a way that they at once become free and they close the channel. In that way, the generation of the neutrons may be there, but they will not form the chain reaction. In that way, the process can be stopped. Okay, in that way we can control the generation process. The control rods made up of steel rods. Okay, and the third thing that we have here, to slow down these neutrons, moderators are required. Moderators. What material can be there to use as a moderator? That may be normal water, and for better moderation purpose, heavy water, and graphite also can be used as a moderator. They just slow down the speed of the neutrons so that it can participate and increase the probability of the reaction for further energy generation. Okay, either these three things are enough. I think there should be something extra, something more. What that can be? In this process, very high amount of heat is produced. So in addition to this, heat dissipation must be required for safe operation. That is named as the coolant. So coolant is required, and normally water is used as a coolant. So in a nuclear power system, the first thing that we can have, the fuel rod, that is made up of uranium 235, the control rod, that is made up of steel material, the moderator to slow down the speed of the neutron, that can be water, heavy water, or graphite, and to cool down the temperature or heat in the system, coolant is required. So in this way, combining these four, we can have almost the setup is okay to go ahead. Okay, let us see what possibility can be there of their arrangement to generate the power. So the basic requirement that we have studied, it is the uranium rod. Okay, let us have only 3. There is control purpose, for control purpose the rod that can be there. They are made up of steel. The whole setup is placed in a case like this. Okay, which allows to come in the water and boils and converted to steam, and that steam goes to the turbine after this case, and turbine runs, and that is connected to a generator where electricity is generated. And in cold thermal power plants, we have seen that after turbine, same thing we have to follow here as well. After turbine, the steam is condensed, so we can use condenser here. Condenser, I'm not showing exactly the same replication, just try to understand like this, because we have already discussed how condensers are placed and how they can work, how turbines are there. So condenser is there, in which cold water comes in and hot water comes out for condensation purpose. And after condensation, the pump is being used to inject the water back to the system for heating purpose. Okay, so what we are getting here, the water is boiling, almost boiling. Inside there is boiling water from which steam is formed. So this type of structure, based on the water that is boiling here, it is named as boiling water reactor. Boiling water reactor. Okay, it is somewhat BWR like that. But there can be some problem as well in this system. First problem that can be, water that is coming here, it comes in contact to the fissile material, fissile and radioactive material, we can say, that is fuel rod. Okay, and that water comes to turbine, comes to condenser, comes to pump, and the full setup is running from the affected water. Okay, so in this way, all the place from where the water runs have some radioactive nature. Okay, so the first problem that can be there. The second problem, okay, let us continue the previous one. If all have radioactivity or radioactive nature, the people, those who are working here, those who are working at this place, they may get affected, and the radioactivity cause some sickness, specific type of problems in the people, those who are working near to that. Okay, so second thing that can be there, the problem that can be there, the water that is boiling, boiling water has temperature almost 100 degrees centigrade. Okay, not almost 100 degrees centigrade. The temperature of the water that can be here have a temperature more than that, but that is not very high. It is mixed with steam. To run the turbine, the steam that is here further required for superheating purpose, as we have done in the case of thermal power plants. That is not possible in this case. For that purpose, external arrangement is required. Okay. Third problem that can be there, the coolant that is being used here, the problem may be due to that, as only water is not enough, that is mixture of water and steam, so cooling capacity is poor in that case. The third problem that can be related with the coolant, as only water is not present here, there is water and steam as well, that is mixture of water and steam, and the cooling capacity of water is higher than the mixture one, or we can say that is if steam is there, then the cooling capacity of steam is very poor than the water comparison. So the cooling capacity of the system is not very good. Okay. Okay, I think we should stop at this point. We will continue the topic from this point in the next turn. Thank you very much.